Friends, welcome back to the Just Rip It podcast. My name is Adam. I'm here with my mate Jimmy. How are you, Jimmy?
Good mate, yourself?
I am well, thank you. We've got quite a lot to get into, even though it's a non-live playing week. Before we do that, to our listeners and our watchers, make sure you jump on to all of the platforms where you can find us. We have the website, rippergcnation.com. You can go there and sign up and be part of sort of the Ripper fan club community that we're trying to build. You can jump on Instagram, we're rippergc.nation. And Jimmy, we're also on YouTube. What's that called?
It's just Rip It YouTube, Just Rip It podcast.
The Just
Nice and
Rip It
easy, nice and simple, that one.
Simple, Just Rip It podcast. So you can find us there on all those socials and platforms and all that good business. So let's start off with golf and what we've been up to. I'm going to fire over to you first, Jimmy.
Oh,
What's been sort of the tail end of last week, the weekend just gone? What did you do and how did you go?
I had a shocker. I had a shocker. Well,
Well,
it's probably
You had the Chook Run last Chook Run,
yes,
the
Chook
Chook
Run. That's
Run.
what we call it.
Yeah,
Chook Run
yeah,
every
yeah,
Wednesday night. That's right. So
yeah,
it's a 9-hole competition that we do at Shep, alternating nines each week. Yeah, I don't even think I did any good there either. I reckon I only got 14 points as well.
yeah. Okay.
I'm doing a little bit with swing feels at the moment and trying to get something that's a more consistent strike, which I felt like was okay. But it really shows everything that I've been practicing with my 75 hard golf challenge that I set myself has been working okay. What I've neglected to do, and it's just because of lack of time and the facilities just don't allow it, is actually playing something that is, or getting a drive away, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
So I found, yeah, missed a few fairways and just wasted a few shots punching out. And yeah, there should be no hero shots. But yeah, I always try to pull one or two out if I could. But yeah, I didn't do well on Saturday either. I reckon I had 104 or something. It was good for like 23 points. It was blowing a gale and it was hot and dusty. And yeah, anyway, I was a bit down on myself for a little bit, but then I was straight back up the next day to get back into my practice and keep moving. So hopefully a bit
Absolutely,
better this week.
absolutely. And folks can keep a track of all of your great self-motivated competition with yourself
Yep.
on your YouTube channel, Jimmy Bunkers.
Jimmy Bunkers Golf. That's right. Jimmy Bunkers Golf on YouTube, Jimmy Bunkers Golf on Instagram. Both of those. I put up some snippets on Instagram and then the full vlog goes out on YouTube. But that's enough about me. You had a golf trip with your boys, mate. How was that?
So the 26th year
Yeah,
has
fantastic.
has just come to a close. 16 of us, all but one of the guys could make it. Um, we headed up to the Sunshine Coast north of Brisbane
Perfect.
and did a little 9-hole warm up on Thursday. Formal proceedings kicked off on the Thursday evening with round one comp day on Saturday on Friday, and then sort of championship Saturday on Saturday. So did a little 9-hole warm up at Caloundra Golf Club. I hadn't played there before. Yeah, great club. They just cored the greens and the fairway, so she was a bit rough, but
Preferred lies.
preferred lies.
Yep,
Yes,
that's a win.
that is a win. Yeah, it was good. Some nice holes there, and it was a good warm up because I've been settling into a new grip, not the grip on the end of my club grip, but
Yep.
how my hands address the club. So that was a good little sort of pre-tournament, um, sort of routine that I was getting myself into. And then on the Friday we played Twin Waters up on the Sunshine Coast. Great course. Somewhat forgiving fairway width wise. So that combined with my new grip saw me hit, I think, all but two fairways, which is just not me at all. I mean,
That's pretty good.
if I can hit 6 or 7 fairways in 19 holes, in 18 holes, I'm doing well. So,
Oh,
walked away with 38 points. Now, bear in
38
mind,
points.
38 points. Bear in mind, my last three comps, I've gotten 20, 22 and 26 points. So
Would you?
getting back into the 30s club was very nice.
Very good.
On the Saturday, we played Palmer Coolum, which was the old Hyatt Coolum. Fantastic course. If there's any Queenslanders listening and you haven't played Palmer Coolum, go and play that. Uh, and came away with 31 points. So still in the 30s club. Tougher course, a lot of water. Came home par, which was really nice. So all in all, a great weekend with the lads. Some of those guys I won't see until the tourney next year, and others I'll see during the year. So yeah, we're all sort of now nudging into our sort of late 40s, early 50s now. So 26 years going strong. So it was great.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. So
Mm.
what was your favorite shot that you hit throughout those 3 days? You have one that you've just remembered the whole time, keep replaying it in your head.
Yeah. So Saturday at Palmacoolum, for those that know it, the 11th, which is a par three. I think it's their
Awesome.
shortest par three. There was a little bit of a wind coming off the left. I've got a slight natural draw, and I just kept my head down. I hit it very smoothly and slow, like I've been trying to do for the last sort of year and a half, and came off crisp, and it flew, and it slowly sort of, moved itself in a beautiful arc left, and it tracked center pin all the way
Oh,
down
wow.
and dropped, I don't know, 3 feet, from the cup. Like
Oh, fantastic.
just, spectacular. So I wasn't able to
Oh,
repeat
wait.
repeat that on the others, but
Did you make the
it
putt
was
though?
nice. I didn't make the putt,
Ah,
and
that's okay.
I
The shots.
I putted like 4 foot past it. Like
Oh,
it was criminal. It was criminal.
you can't leave a
So
birdie putt short though, so you have to
no,
you have to give it a bit.
I know, I know. Okay, so that's us, Jimmy. I've got the agenda
Yep.
here. We go straight to live. It's a week off. So we're not going to be doing any live preview this week. The boys play Hong Kong next week.
Hong Kong.
So next week we'll do a preview of Hong Kong.
Can I
But
just say before we do,
yes.
great time slot for us too. 3:15 tee off, 2:15 for you. Perfect afternoon,
Oh,
roll
Hong
into
Kong.
evening.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure. For
great
sure.
time slot. Yeah.
Great watching. I said last year, because I love that Hong Kong course.
Yeah.
And I think the vegetation reminds me a lot of Southeast Queensland. So I just kind of resonated, and it was short and tight. And of course, the Bombers didn't win last year. And I said to myself, I'm going to go to and watch. I'm going to travel to Hong Kong in 2025 and watch that event. And I haven't been able to do it because of a whole host of life reasons, but I'm super keen to get up to Hong Kong next year if they still do it. I think that'll be great.
Yeah. No,
Um,
it certainly looks good. It's good visually on the TV, I reckon.
yeah,
Same with
it's fantastic.
Sentosa at Singapore as well. But again, we'll get into those in the next couple of weeks. They're the next two courses that we've got. They both look great on TV, and they're both at really good time slots for us too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So moving through the agenda here, Rippers. We've kind of, with the week off in live, not a significant amount happening. However, um, Herbie is teeing it up in New Zealand for the New Zealand Open, 104th New Zealand Open this coming weekend. I'm a bit of a magazine guy, as you know, Jimmy. Picked up
Yep.
the March edition of Golf Australia just yesterday, and our mate
Look who's on the front cover.
Herbie is on the front cover. A great little sort of write up of the New Zealand Open in here, and the segment writer, or this section written by Callum Hill, he puts the contenders at three of the lads: Daniel Hillier, Rio Ishikawa, and Lucas Herbert. So
Right.
I know where my imaginary money is. It is on Herbie for sure. But a whole bunch of other great Aussies that are going to be there, but also some other live players as well. Danny Lee's going to be over there. Wade Ormsby, of course, one of the backups in live, is going to be there. But some huge, deep Australian talent heading to New
Yeah, I'm actually
Zealand as
looking at the
well.
list right now, and there's some big names going down it, which is good.
Yeah, I'm looking
There's
forward
going to
to
be
that.
a T Wood. not Woods. T Wood. Tyler
T
Wood is his name. Don't know
Ty
who he is.
Tyler Wood. Tyler Wood. Yeah. I'm excited. So you've got well, you've got ex Ripper Jed Morgan
Yep.
teeing it up,
Hmm.
and future Ripper in the form of Dave Micheluzzi
Micheluzzi.
also teeing it up. So
We
we'll
got
sort of
Shepparton boy Kyle Michelle has made his way over there as well. He's from my home course, so hopefully he has a good round.
yeah, right. Yeah, there's some
But yeah, then you look at it.
great
So you
talent.
got Ryan Peaks there, you got Jasper Stubbs, Jack Thompson who's been playing pretty well. Benny Campbell's obviously playing over there. You got
Yeah,
Wade Ormsby.
yeah.
You then
Travis Smythe's there, so there's some
Travis
great
Smythe's there.
talent.
You got Jack Carter from the DP World Tour side now. Elvis Smiley's there.
Mm,
Obviously, he got his cards that he's playing. We obviously spoke about Micheluzzi. Charlie Robbins. I don't know if you've had much to do with him, but he's over there. And then the winner of the WebEx series in Sydney, Nick Vogt, who's also teeing it up as
he's teeing
well.
it up too.
Uh, yeah, with his
Yeah,
good mate Luke Corner, got a sponsors invite, so it's going to be really good to watch.
yeah.
I
I
think,
think I'm just double checking. Yeah, there, John Catlin. So live
yep,
kind of you know, sort of associated entourage. John Catlin also
yep,
teeing it up there. So a lot of nice live connections going on there, which is great.
there's plenty of big names, so it's gonna be really good to watch.
Talking about big names, Jimmy, one of the other Ripper boys, Mark Leishman, had an interesting weekend. I'll
Yes.
let you kick that one off.
Yeah, man. I'm just going to bring the score up now because that's a good thing about my score is you can go back to the actual leaderboard and you can see. So Thursday at Warrnambool, Stableford off the Blues and the Reds. So Leishman playing off a +5 handicap, got 42 points by shooting 11 under. 11 under, and that was good
11
for
under.
second. Yeah, and yeah, he came second by a point to David Greed's his name. He's a 12 handicapper, and he played a great round, and he was 5 over,
Yeah, shot the
which
lights
is
out. What was
he
he on?
did,
Hey,
which is
handicap 22, was it?
nah 12,
Oh,
12,
12. Sorry, 12.
12 handicap.
I'm thinking of myself. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was actually a pretty cool scorecard to look at. Leash started with four birdies on the trot, so he started birdie, 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 birdie. Then he had three pars, an eagle, and a par to finish the front nine in 28.
Mm,
Like, that's just, I don't even, it takes, like, I can do 28 in three holes, and he's done it in nine.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Just on, I mean, that being his home course, right?
Yeah.
How how well do you think you know like how many rounds have you had at Shepparton?
Oh, I don't know. I've had a lot. I've had a lot. But it's not just, again, I just live 500 meters away from the course. So even just going out there and practicing
Yeah.
midweek and things, I'm out there all the time.
Yeah. So you know it well.
Yeah.
Like I've been a member at Capera for 3 years now, and I think I know every. I think I'm dialed in on
Yeah.
like so Leash must know that course, you know, like the back of his hand by now. But even still, the handicap system.
Yeah. That's right.
Um, yeah.
I
Well,
think it's
Leash,
equaled his own course record there. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
Leash
Uh, Leash
equaled
did,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Equaled, yeah. But it was crazy, crazy round. And yeah, everyone was talking about it back home because it's good for second. It's just,
Just so awesome that he's going back to his home club and
yeah,
having a round in
yeah.
comp. That's fantastic.
Well, Carl Michelle, who I mentioned before as well, so he's obviously from Shep, home club here. One of the days that he broke the course record, he came second in the stable for comp as well. And I think the course record at that point was 10 under, and he shot that. And I can't remember who he got done by. I'm just going by memory. I just know he came second. And because I remember laughing about it, thinking about how cool is it this guy has just gone out and played the round of his life at home
Yeah,
and came off second.
yeah, that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I've got here. So on to more general items with Live. Now, there was a lot of airwave sort of chatter, probably the last sort of 3, 4, 5 days around the future of this evolving PGA Tour Enterprises PIF related sort of agreement coming
purchase
together.
side of things or whatever it may look like.
Yeah, merger. The word that seems to now be sort of floating to the top of the multiple at times divergent narratives is reunification. And I've just on the way home from the city for meetings, listening to the what podcast is it? The
Obviously,
li
not just Rip It by the sound of things.
No, 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 no. The Living It Up podcast,
Ah, yes.
which is one of my favorites, and as sort of the quotes and the news partial reports were coming out over the last couple of days, um, some more granular views starting to be expressed around what components of some sort of agreement might happen, and it was quite interesting listening to those guys. And I've seen elsewhere this common idea that it seems like PGA Tour Enterprises and LIV are going to remain separate tours. Um, the PIF's going to invest in PGA Tour Enterprises as a financial transaction thing, and you're going to get sort of a small handful of these opportunities where it seems like LIV players will join and play PGA, either PGA
Yep.
Tour Enterprise signature events or thereabouts, or indeed a whole new, they were saying a whole new global tour that sits above LIV and PGA Tour Enterprises. There might be 5 a year, and
Yep.
sort of players coming and going and things like that. So look, a lot of interesting speculation. Um, I as I was digesting it over the last couple of days, there was a moment where I thought to myself, I hope LIV doesn't go away, because there's a number of folks that think that the PGA Tour Enterprise is going to eat up LIV, and
Yep.
there's going to be a merger. So some people think there's going to be a genuine merger, right? The two coming together. And there was a line of narrative coming out of Jay Monahan that the PGA Tour was going to be the tour and LIV would merge into it. That was kind of like a week and a half ago kind of thing. And look, we don't know, but it would be a sad day if LIV did not continue to exist. I think if I was a betting man, I'm not, but if I was, I'd be putting my money on the fact that LIV's going to remain, because I think it's just too
Yeah.
institutionalized now, and the PIF are well resourced, and the fact that just LIV Adelaide,
Yeah.
is
The
sort of
extension of Live
locked and
Adelaide.
loaded. It kind
Yeah.
of sends a signal, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. The extension of Live Adelaide is definitely them stamping their flag and saying that we're not going anywhere. But you definitely hear a lot of chatter from the PGA side of things of like, don't worry about Live, it's not going to last long. Like, we'll whatever. Um, it depends on which articles you read and who supports what to what sort of bias they have. And when there's a thing that a lot of people call, which is just confirmation bias, where if you already have like an opinion of a certain, one way or the other, you can read the article with confirmation bias, thinking that you're confirming your view, but it could be someone else could be reading it, confirming their view, and it gets two different opinions out of it. So it's
Yeah,
very, very hard to read how that actual meeting at the White House went, because I've seen articles saying that it was a good meeting and articles saying it was a bad meeting. And you just don't really know it. I think the main thing that we can get out of this is that it's still very up in the air and literally have no idea what's going on.
mm,
But Liv's investing in Liv. They're continuing to grow. They're looking to keep going. They were holding talks the other day about how they can invest in the women's game as well.
yeah,
And obviously that promotes more growth for Liv themselves. So they wouldn't really be doing all of this sort of stuff if there's like a slim chance that like it's gonna all come together. I
yeah,
think Piff themselves want to have a foot in both camps, I guess. And I think most people's idea of overall world golf tour, I think, is a really nice dream to have. Don't know if it'll ever get off the ground though. I
mm.
think, but we'll see. There is a lot of chatter still happening, which is crazy.
Yeah, and like. the original framework agreement that was announced, going on 2 years or whatever it
Yeah,
was
it's a long time
now,
ago now.
it came out of nowhere,
Mm.
totally unexpected. So I just, you know, live each day as it comes, knowing that at any point in time we could end up with announcements that would totally potentially be totally different to what I think's in my head. So who
Yep,
knows?
that's it.
That is the key. Anthony Kim
Yeah,
took to social media and shared a key milestone for him. Jimmy, what did you take away from what AK was sort of sharing, and maybe more broadly? This wasn't a one-off for him. He certainly has been very open and transparent around his journey back to golf and what happened prior to that.
he certainly has, and he probably opened up a little bit more because it was 3 or 4 paragraphs on Instagram talking about his 2 years of sobriety, and it really shows. Obviously, he knows he's spoken about his struggles and what's happened, but we can all see, especially if you follow him on Instagram, the amount of work that this guy's putting in. And I don't think he likes the comments of being a exhibition golfer or just a gimmick to start playing and back at live and everything like that. Like he's grinding to try and
Mm,
get back to the top. Like he wants to be at the top.
mm.
Having a big moment like this, it's 2 years since his life changed. And in that time, he's gone from hasn't hit a golf ball in years to
12 over a decade.
yeah, over a decade to grinding and playing as much as he can. He didn't really have an off season. If you followed him on social media, you saw that he was always hitting balls. To then find himself on the live tour, and he actually wants to be on like a live team. He actually wants to not be a wild card anymore. He wants to find his way and actually get a proper contract and be out there full time. So
Mm.
it was really touching. It was really nice, and just again, just it gives you another look inside the lives of these live players, and just I don't know. I just really liked it. It was really nice. I don't really know
Yeah,
what else to say. It was just
yeah,
it was a bit of a hard read because it was pretty heavy.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it sort of made me like him a little bit more. I already did like him. I reckon he's great.
Are you oh, I know the answer to this question, but when eventually at some point when Rick Shields gets a chance to sort of, have a hit out with AK, yeah, I'll be tuning into that.
Yeah. Well, I know they've already done a podcast episode. I just don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah.
And it may already be out now. I don't know.
Oh, is that Rick and Anthony?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I don't follow Rick's podcast channel anymore, but I
Yeah,
used to,
okay.
and I did see some photos or some of the previews of Rick's announcement of actually signing with Liv. Was Rick and Guy, his podcast co-host, sitting down and talking to Anthony Kim.
Yeah, okay. Right, interesting.
Yeah,
Um, okay, well, that's probably live done at the moment this week, Jimmy. Some broader topics. Let's keep going on the sort of the YouTube theme and Rick Shields. You didn't set me this challenge, but I, voluntarily decided to jump on YouTube and watch some YouTube golf.
I'm proud.
And it was I I can't, we've got one of those smart TVs, right? And it's got
Yep.
the Google
Hmm.
Chrome thing. There's 1,000
Yep.
apps going on, and for some reason, I don't know who in the family was watching YouTube, but now I've got this sort of row of recommended YouTube sort of click
Videos.
videos. And anyway, Rick Shields and the Stingers, or Charl and Dean, and then HV3 and uh, who was it?
Peters.
Uh, Thomas Peters,
Yep.
doing some sort of weird sort of thing. Anyway, it was 20 something minutes. I turned it on. It was quite entertaining. Harold Varner third he just continues to impress me. Just how much,
It's just so cool.
how chilled that guy is, right? So, um, yeah, I found it an interesting format, and I suppose the way I tried to interpret it was it was sort of the four guys that were competing, but Rick was sort of the moderator, mediator, commentator, taking the opportunity between shots to ask questions. So yeah, an
Yep.
interesting is that a kind of standard thing that he does, or is this a new live thing, do you think?
This is a new strand of content for Rick that he's doing, and it's going to be more of like a bracket style, you could say, where every tournament he films 2v2s with two players in one team against two players in another, and eventually it'll be a
Oh,
round
that's
robin
right.
thing
They
where they'll
called it
get
a
to the win.
show. Was it called the show? Was it showdown or
Yeah, I
something?
think he called it
And
something cheesy like that.
yeah, and he had the whole sort of
Yeah, it
playoffs
looks like
kind
March
of
Madness.
yeah the NBA playoffs kind of thing going. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
It will be
Yeah,
good. It will be good. And it's something that, yeah, Rick hasn't done that before. But if you've, and again, this is not a part of your homework, but if you do feel like you wanted to go back, Bryson has done a couple of these videos on his channel where it was just he was filming at live events. And there was one where he was filming with Phil Mickelson. And he goes, all right, we'll just go one of my guys with one of your guys and let's make a match out of it. And it
yeah,
was just
right.
a casual little money match that they did, little match play side of things. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But the Rick Shields one's going to be exciting because yeah, he wasn't playing golf. He was standing back. The guys were really relaxed, but they were competitive at the same time. Some of the banter between them was pretty good. But yeah, also you're watching a match play of a couple of pros hard at it. It was good.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, and I'm
Uh, and
glad
it,
you did that by yourself too. That's look at you. You
oh,
you,
Jimmy, look,
you
it's
don't need me to tell you to do
fourth
homework anymore.
podcast in, I'm showing the initiative like you wouldn't believe. So, um, and of course, the issue is you watch one. It's like any algorithm, isn't it? You watch
Oh
one, and
yeah.
it's just all these golf options. So,
There is. All right. Do I just give you your homework now though? Because I've got it
please,
up on the
yeah,
screen. All
let's
right.
get it over and done with.
Now, this is a YouTube video that's very informative and just a different style from what we've been watching. We've been showing you some pretty competitive golf at some pretty high end, golf courses and things like that. You've done a bit of Rick Shield stuff, and again, you've just watched for 2v2 just then yourself. Um, this is Eric Anders Lang is his name. It's from Random Golf Club. It's a YouTube channel,
Okay.
and we're going back 4, 5, well, nearly 5 years old. This video is. It's
What's his
nearly
name?
five
Sorry,
years
what's his
old.
name? Evan
Eric
Eric.
Anders Lang. I'll send you the link after this anyway.
Okay.
So the video is called
Oh,
Tom.
this is the ex pro. Is that right? He's an ex
No, he's
tour
not an
pro?
ex-pro.
No.
No, he's not. No, he's just a
Uh,
lover of golf. I guess he tells
right. Okay.
tells a lot of stories through
Yeah.
golf. That's his main thing. So
Okay.
the video is called Tom Doak's newest course in Mornington Peninsula. So the reason why I've chosen this,
Ooh.
what he does is it's a 20-minute video. It's very easy watching. There's he goes down to St Andrews Beach
Beach.
Golf Club
Yeah.
in Melbourne, also like the Dunes Golf Links, and then he's one of the first to play the Gunnamatta course at the National Golf Club because that's roughly
Oh,
when it opened.
I so want to play that.
Yeah, so you don't see match play or gameplay of like all 18 holes or whatever it is. It's just him walking the course, talking to
Yeah.
the architects, talking about the history of the land and what it is and what they've
And
done.
he's
And
playing.
he plays, yeah, he
He's
plays some
hitting
shots.
balls while this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's just another type of YouTube golf. It's not just all playing golf. It's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
story behind it and a story behind these courses. And it's very interesting. A lot of his stuff is very interesting. There's no,
I think I really like the sound of that.
yeah,
I
I
like
reckon
yeah golf course
it's not.
architecture, the history.
I thought it'd be more up your style. This is something that you might get into.
Okay.
But then there's lots of videos on Random Golf Club. You could probably go down a whole rabbit hole with things to watch from there. But
I'll
there's
start with
another
that
one.
one.
Yeah, start with that one. I will mention this one as like a side thing. You don't need to watch it, but Eric Anders Lang also went to he played the Nullarbor Links. He played all 18 holes. He
Yeah.
went in the
Right.
van and played all 18
Is he an
holes.
Aussie?
No,
Oh.
he's an
Okay.
American. He's
Yeah.
an
Okay.
American, but
Okay.
yeah, he just goes to some out there places to tell some stories about some pretty cool golf courses and things like that. But this is one that you should watch because I feel like it's something that you'll enjoy,
Yep.
and it's not just golf on a golf course and playing golf. It's slightly different.
Okay. Challenge accepted. Um, Now on challenges, Jimmy,
Yes.
we are delighted to announce that we're going to be introducing a weekly on-course challenge that Jimmy and Adam have to tackle. And we're going to take turns week on, week off at setting the challenge. So it's got to be an on-course, real-life golf challenge. I've opted to start this week with the challenge. I'm going to start with one that sounds what should be straightforward. Um, but
We're 22, 23 handicap. There's nothing straightforward in our
so
game.
for a couple of 20-something handicappers, that's right. So so we're going to go with the challenge of each of us. Now we're going to go out and actually do this, and we're going to film it for evidence.
Yep.
So this week's challenge is for you and I to hit 3 consecutive fairways in a row on 3 consecutive holes. Now, there is a sub clause to that.
Yep.
In that it can be nothing lower than a 4-iron.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I didn't want any of this 7-iron business just to sort of win the challenge. Okay. So 4-iron or above. It's got to be 3 consecutive fairways. So you know, I don't know the layout at Shep, but you know, par
we're
fours and
playing the
par
back nine,
fives.
and there's a
You
little
got some
stretch there where
options?
it's quite difficult, but I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Okay. I can't. Can I use 4-3, 5? Can I use the front nine at
So I'm just assuming if
Capera?
say if we got
One,
two and
two,
then a par three,
3.
we skip the par three.
Yeah, it can't be a par 3. Yeah,
Yep.
no, it's got to be 3 consecutive holes. So I can do first, second, and third holes on the front 9 at Capera. Back nine. Oh yeah, but I can do. Okay, yeah, I got plenty of options. I got plenty of
All right.
options. Okay,
So
so and we're going to film that, and we'll work out what we do with that. But so that's the challenge. So Jimmy, what we're going to do, and we haven't discussed this. I'm making this up as we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep a score
okay,
of the challenges. And when we get to the end of the season, whatever this season is of the Just Rip It podcast, we're going to see who the winner is,
gotcha.
and we're going to come up with. Okay, so the loser goes to the online store for the Rippers and has to get a piece of merch for the winner.
All right, I
Are,
like that.
are,
That's
are you
good.
willing to accept that?
Yeah, that's fine. I like that. I was actually
Okay.
on the merch side earlier, and there's
Okay.
some pretty good
Okay.
options there.
Well, hold off. You might be getting the free cap or a free option later in the year. Okay, so that's Adam and Jimmy's on-course challenge for this week.
The hardest part with that is that you can look back at all my footage and see my weaknesses and just pinpoint them each week. Because
True.
a lot of my stuff's been
The,
documented, so
the,
you know what
the,
I
the double-edged sword of YouTube golf, Jimmy. Yes,
do.
the digital footprint is there.
Well, you've chosen one of
Um,
my weaknesses straight up, and that's hitting a fairway because I don't know how to do that.
Well, I am being somewhat selfish because I've got this new grip that I'm,
Yes.
I'm dialing in. So I'm actually feeling confident that I'm going to be putting a 1, notching up a 1 beside my name when we reconvene next week. But we'll wait and
Righto,
see.
righto. We'll see.
We will wait and see. It is golf and it is random. Um, Another new segment for the podcast is this month back then. And as you know, in the shop here, I have around about 100 golf magazines from yesteryear. So I have month on month for most years, 2010, 2009-ish, through to sort of about 2023. And so what I've done is I've dug in to the archives and I've pulled out the Australian Golf Digest this month back then, so February 2012.
Oh, look
For
at the
that,
orange.
for those that can't see the video and are just listening, I'm holding up the Australian Golf Digest, February 2012. On the front cover, we have a young 23-year-old Ricky Fowler head to toe in orange. The big sort of emblazoned title across the front is Kids at Play. How golf's youth brigade is leading a generation of future stars, Ricky being one of those. On the back cover, Jimmy, we've got the great man Greg Norman,
There he is.
a younger looking great Greg Norman, sporting a lovely Amiga wristwatch, obviously one of his sponsors way back then. Um, I had a quick flick through here before, and all that I'm going to do each week is just pull out sort of one or two bits and pieces. But there was an advertisement in here, just going back to Anthony Kim. Now, I didn't know AK prior to Live. You know, I had no idea
Yep.
who he was, never watched him sort of in the past. Um,
I had a
and
vague idea because I was watching golf, but not as religiously as I am. I just wasn't playing golf as much.
yeah,
So
okay.
I sort of knew he was, saw he
You
won an
kind of
event,
knew.
and had him a little bit
Yeah,
there, but I completely forgot about him. And I think a lot of people did until all this happened. And then I just started rehashing some memories. But yeah.
yeah. Well, here he is, full page advert for Nike Golf, Anthony
Oh, there we
Kim.
go.
Anthony Kim
Look
back in the
at
day.
that.
So do you remember Nike golf balls? Do you remember Nike
Oh
stuff?
yeah, yeah. I got a Nike Mojo in my range
Yeah,
bag, and
right,
I
right.
just tried. I do not lose it. Every time I'm using it in the range bag, I make sure I know exactly where that ball went to go pick it up. And I got one of my mates. I got two of my mates actually have Nike golf clubs.
Yeah, right.
So Ash has a set of those blue vapors. He's got driver, 3 wood,
Because they're
hybrid
quite old now, right? N
irons.
Nike got out of clubs a while
Yeah, I
back.
got out of him a little while ago. I don't know how old his clubs are, but he's never going to part with them. But he plays them, he games them every week, and they're pretty cool. And another one of my mates has got a set of Nike clubs too. I can't remember exactly what style they are, but he only plays old Nike balls. But he
Yeah,
only plays
right.
golf once every 2 years though. So he
Yeah,
only
right.
uses old Nike balls just because it's all a part of the theme. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Well, I did one of my very early drivers was the Nike Square,
Oh,
the
yep.
Sasquatch looking thing, the yellow thing.
Mhm.
It was a piece of work, that's for sure.
I saw on
Um,
Reddit today that someone actually picked one up. This is in America. Someone picked up a Sasquatch for 12.99 at Goodwill in
ah,
America. So that's crazy.
I remember it sounding very tinny at the time.
Yeah, it's loud.
Um, it is loud. So anyway, so yeah, that was this month in this month back then. Ricky Fowler on the front. So stay tuned for
I might be
uh
able to play along
next
one week
week.
of this because I know where there's a couple of golf magazines and I might be able to
Yeah,
pull them
right.
out and
Okay.
see what they're like. So
Yeah, absolutely. So next week it will be March, so I'll be able to do a new March
yeah.
one. So okay, so that was this month back then. We've done this week's on course challenge. Jimmy, is there any other business?
I don't think there is. I think that's that pretty much wraps us up for an off week. I think, unless if there's anything else you can think of. I think we've covered on everything we mentioned at the start of the show.
Are you playing any golf between now
Yeah, I've got
and this time next
Chook
week?
Run Wednesday.
Yeah, every
Try and hit
Wednesday.
three
Yep.
fairways in a row. So
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, so I got to find. Oh man, okay. I got to try and fit that in too. Yep. Okay, that's all good.
well, the
Uh
other part as well is I am doing my 75 hard challenge, so I might be able to like try and hit three fairways, but it's got to be. I've only got I've got a 5 wood. Would a 5 wood be longer than a 4 iron? Would you say so or not? I don't own a 4 iron, so I go five iron to 5 wood, just 3 wood to driver.
yeah, right. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's you gotta pick your poison
Mm,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, some like I love long irons.
Yep.
I'm hitting my 3 wood better. I've got driver 3 wood, three driving iron and 3 iron, and
Okay.
I interchange them. So and I don't actually have a 4 iron, but I've got a 5 iron, which I hit well. So but I can't hit that. So yeah, we'll sort of wait and see.
All right. Sounds good.
It's a good challenge. It's a good challenge, that one.
I like it.
Um so yeah, I got to find some time to get stuck into that challenge and play some golf. There's a lot to watch this weekend with the New Zealand Open. So yeah, I got to manage sort of life at home as well, given that I was away all last weekend with golf,
Yep.
playing golf on the boys' trip, and then the weekend before that at Live for 4 days. Once again, too much golf, not enough time. And this time next month, Jimmy, I'm going to be in the United States, and I'm going to be
Oh, there we go.
playing. How's this? I'm going to be playing. Where are we playing? Playing Pasatiempo,
Oh,
Dr. Alistair Mackenzie course.
yep.
Playing both courses at Monterey Peninsula Country Club,
Nice.
and then we're heading up and playing a muni around near San Francisco somewhere.
Very good.
And then heading over to Denver. Can't play any golf in Denver next
Too
month.
too cold.
Too cold,
Yeah.
which is a bummer. So,
Well, Pasatiempo, or however you pronounce it, there's a guy that I used to watch a little while ago on YouTube called Not a Scratch Golfer, and he's played there quite a bit, and it's an incredible course. It always looks good on
yeah,
camera. So I
yeah.
think you're gonna love that.
And it's just come through a major reno as well. So,
Yep, yep.
um, yeah, that's very, very much looking forward to that. But a lot of water under the bridge before I jump on the plane. Okay, Jimmy. Look, that is us done for a week. Our first non-live playing week. In future non-live playing weeks, we'll be looking to do some interviews and a few other bits and pieces. But got a few little nice challenges there. Again, for our listeners, follow us on all of the platforms that you can find us. Instagram, rippitgc.nation. YouTube is Just Rip It
Podcast.
Podcast.
That's right. Yep.
And the website, rippitgcnation.com. Have I got them all?
You got them all. One
Ticked
thing I
them all
will
off?
say, on Spotify, I noticed that you can comment on Spotify. So if you're listening on Spotify, comment who you reckon's going to win the challenge this week. Because
Friends.
Adam is Adam stepped up to the plate first. He's chosen one of my weaknesses, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, let us know. Who do you think's going to win?
This could be the feature of the podcast going
Oh,
forward, Jimmy.
it could
So
be. We might have to put a poll up on Instagram too and see how we go there.
we'll wait and see. Okay, my friend, it was good to chat. We'll see you
You
next
too.
week.
Sounds good. Catch you in. Just
See
rip
ya.
it.